This is the 2026 GMC Canyon Denali. Is it the perfect mid-size truck for you? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. I borrowed this truck from my friends at Mike Morgan Buick GMC in Shreveport, Louisiana. If you want to know more, check out the link down in the description of the video. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of people out there that say, Tom, that's not a mid-size truck. Yeah, I realize it is a little bit larger than any other mid-size truck on the market. However, GMC does classify this as a mid-size truck, coming in under the Sierra 1500. As far as this model goes, you're going to have a four-wheel drive, 2-inch lift kit, and you'll find your LED daytime running lights, LED headlights, and LED fog lights. Little bitty LED fog lights right there, but you know what? I bet they're nice and bright. It's too bright out here in the day to test that out, but they'll get the job done for you. You're going to have your recovery hooks right there, as you can see on the lower portion of the front end. Four-wheel drive sitting on 20-inch wheels. You will have the assist steps, these affixed in place assist steps right here. What do you think about that? Some people might say, well, that might hinder your off-roading capabilities a little bit. I'm curious to know what your experiences have been out on the trail or wherever you may have been with your Canyons. Now, one thing that you won't find here, these are manually folding side view mirrors. Something else, you also don't have the turn signal indicators built in, but everything else is here. They're heated, they're power adjustable, and you're going to have blind spot monitoring built in, as you can see. We're going to have passive entry, that button right there on the front door handles, not on the rear in this case. I think that should be the case every time. It should be on the front and the rear. Here is your remote. We're going to have lock, unlock, remote start. You've got your panic button right there, and there is a key inside of this remote, or key fob as a lot of people call it. That way, if the battery in the fob dies, you can still get into the truck with the lock right there. This truck will have off-road suspension and auto-locking differential, and we will also find the 2-speed transfer case. You'll have the corner steps to make it easier to get in and out of the bed. And one thing that's nice here, you'll notice that the tailgate locks. When the interior is locked, so is the tailgate. So we're going to hit the button right there. You can hear that unlock. It's locked. Now it's unlocked, just so you can hear that. This truck is very capable, by the way, able to tow up to 7,700 pounds. We have the spray-in bed liner. We're going to have several different tie-down points within this area. And we will also find the multi-stow tailgate. I'll show you what exactly that is. We're going to have the space built into the tailgate right here where you can stow things. It is going to be capable of holding ice and whatever you want to put in here. If you want to keep drinks nice and cool, you have, I don't know if I can get it out here or not, but a drain plug right here. That is really hard to get out, but that is actually a drain plug right there if you can get it out when you need to drain anything out of there, such as the water once your ice is melted. But a very, very versatile truck. The payload will come in at 1,430 pounds. Under the hood is the 2.7 liter Turbo Max 4-cylinder. It puts out what might be a surprising 310 horsepower and 430 pounds-feet of torque, mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. How about your potential MPGs? 17 city, 22 highway, 19 combined, and 5.3 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. This truck will feature a 21.4 gallon gas tank, and just as is the case with the MPGs, this is potential. You may achieve it, you may not, you may be above, you may be below, but you're looking at a potential on a full tank of gas of 343 miles in the city and 492 miles out on the highway. Share your numbers down in the comments section if you own a 25 or 26 version of this truck. The exterior color is Summit White, and there is a jet black and teak interior. You can see the design on the door panel right here. A very nice, comfortable armrest and a door bin slash bottle holder, really more of a bottle holder than a door bin, I would say. Under the seat cushions, you'll find quite a bit of space for storage and all of the tools needed to change the tire to the spare tire if you need to raise and lower the seat cushions. You just use that lever right there. And I don't know if I can show you from here. If you can see the spare tire, which we can do it right there. There's the spare tire located underneath the truck. You'll find rear seat pockets on the back of each seat, and depending on where the seats are located, these front seats will determine how much leg space there is here in the rear. For the size of the truck, it's surprisingly not quite as roomy back here as you will find with the Sierra 1500s and 2500s, or 3500s for that matter. But I hope that works out for your rear seat passengers anyway. Fold down armrest with the cup holders built in, and if you need more cup holders, there's also cup holders right here on the rear of the center console. We will also find air conditioning vents and connectivity options right here, including a 120 volt power outlet underneath that area. There is a sunroof. It is a conventional size. It will tilt and slide open. One thing that does surprise me here with this truck is the absence of LED interior lighting. The sticker price is $56,525. Tell me what you think about that down in the comments section. Let's see what else you get for that price. We're going to find the glove box right here, a little bit of storage space in there. The driver and the passenger seats are heated and ventilated. They both have lumbar support. Obviously, they're going to be power adjustable. And we'll find everything here for your sunroof controls as far as opening and closing the sunroof. You'll find the controls right here for opening and closing your power sunroof. Now, we did talk about the rear seating area, but as you can see in the rearview mirror, there is the rear window. That middle section slides open. However, it is manually operated. It is not power sliding like we see in a lot of other GMC models. Let's take a look over here at the driver's side door. You're going to find seat memory, a couple of different settings for the driver's seat. We'll have our controls here for our side view mirrors and our power windows, power locks. All of that's going to be here. Here's everything right here for your trailer brake control, and we'll find the control for your blinkers, your turn signal indicators for those who have been to turn signal school and know how to use that. And you can also control your windshield wipers and your windshield washer fluid. And you don't have anything over here on the right hand side. The shifter is right down here. Tell me what you think. Do you like it? Do you not? Would you rather have a column shifter? Everybody has their preferences. I think this is perfect for this particular truck. We're going to have our steering wheel mounted controls, everything for the radio, your heated steering wheel right there, and your adaptive cruise control right here. This button controls what you see on the driver's display. So if you don't like what you see, or you just need a different view depending on your situation and what you're doing, especially if you're off-roading, this is the screen you would actually need. You can see it. You have everything there for pitch and roll and your drift angle. All of that's going to be here. And then we can also come right here. This is the cleanest look of all of our options. And we'll come back here. Now, for those of you that would like to see other things on there beyond what we have, you also have navigation. Let's go over that real fast just so you can see that. But depending on what you want to see or you need to see, maybe you're not seeing it, we're going to come right here to vehicle status. We're going to let that come up and we'll show you a few different things that are going on. Now, we're going to come here to tires and brakes. If we click into that area, notice that you can add it to the driver's display if you want to. When you do that, you can go right here and we can hit continue, and you'll see that that now shows up on the driver's display for those who would like that. If you want to remove it, it's just that simple to do the same thing again, and there you go. Very easy to deal with, but I did want to make sure to show that to you so you knew what was going on. On the back of the steering wheel, you're going to have everything for your volume control right here with the controls. On this side, on the right-hand side over there, on the left-hand side, you can control what you're listening to. So very nice setup, easy to deal with as far as that goes. You don't have to take your hands off the steering wheel to do anything if you don't want to, but you do have the knob right here to control volume and turn the radio on and off. Now, here on the center screen, you can see that you have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. They're grayed out because nothing is paired right now, but you can wirelessly pair your smartphone. You have everything here for, obviously, vehicle status as we looked at earlier. Google Assistant, you can say, hey, you know who, and ask all sorts of questions. And you have the Google Play Store without a tongue twist. And how about your cameras? There's a lot of different views here that are going to help you out in every single situation. And this will actually stay up while you're driving at speed. I'll show you that during the test drive. A lot of people have asked about that in the past on other vehicles. Some vehicles do that, some vehicles don't. But believe it or not, I am asked quite regularly on how to make your camera stay up while you're driving. I always wonder why people want to do that. It seems like it could be a bit of a distraction, but you'll have to tell me what you think down in the comments section. Now, one thing you may have noticed when we were looking at the left-hand side of the dash, left-hand side of to the left of the steering wheel, you didn't see anything for controlling the headlights. It's right here. So we're going to go there. You can go to off, you can go to auto, you can turn everything on if you want to, depends on what you want. We're going to leave that on auto. But in case you are wondering, there is the answer to that particular question. Now, you'll notice what I just did right here. We're going to go and select that. This is going to be controls and safety. We have a head-up display. I don't know how well that's showing up on the screen. However, it is controlled here in the screen. There's a lot of things that are controlled in the screen. So there is how you're going to adjust the head-up display. If your head-up display is not on, but you know your vehicle is equipped with one, obviously, this is what you need to do. You can adjust brightness, height, and rotation. And then we'll come back here to lock out the windows, to keep people from rolling the windows down when you don't want them to. Well, you can do that as far as that goes. There is your camera view right there. You got your different views here if you want to go into that. Now we're going to go back here again just to show you what all is here. Traction control can be turned on and off. Auto high beams, you can turn that on and off right there. Personally, I would rather have that maybe where I do in my current truck, which is on the end of the turn signal lever. Some of you probably have that too. I have that in my GMC 2500. So I'd rather have that somewhere outside of the screen. There's a lot of things that have been moved here that I think should still be physical controls. You'll have to tell me what you think down in the comments section. See more controls? This is where you'll come. Once again, if you want to turn on or off your power window lockout, just another option where that's concerned. Everything for your lights will be right here. So depending on what you need to do, you can come here, you can have the fog lights on, off. You can see what all is here. I don't necessarily have to tell you too much about that. And how about this area? Drive and park. So if you want to do anything with that, you can turn your traction control on and off right there and activate park assist or turn that off. It just depends on your personal preference and what it is you want. We'll go into vehicle settings real fast here. We're going to go under vehicle and show you a couple of things that are here. Rear seat reminder, buckle to drive, all that's here. Climate and air quality. And how about your safety features? You can adjust the alert type, forward collision avoidance, front pedestrian braking, adaptive cruise go notifier, lane change alert, park assist tow bar, rear cross traffic braking, and rear pedestrian alert. People always ask about those safety features. If you want to know what those are, there you go. If you need to change your chime volume, you can do that right here if it's too loud or too quiet. Nice to know that you can make that adjustment. So I don't want to spend too much time there, but just to show you a few things that are here on the screen. Everything for trailering is right there. You're also going to have off-road. We'll take a quick look at that. And 3 different screens here depending on the information you need to know about. We can scroll over right here as you can see. And then one more screen right there. It gives you all the details, everything that you want to know. If you need to see what's going on around you, you can do that. Go back to our cameras just like that. One of those very simplistic things to deal with. And something that I do like that is thankfully not exclusively in the touchscreen are the controls for the air conditioning. Everything is right here. So that's nice to know. Depending on what you need to do with your dual zone climate control, you've got fan speed, all of that is right there. And a few other controls as far as your one-touch features. You can see what's right here. If you want to turn the auto stop start feature on and off, you can do that right there. Your lane keeping assist is here. We also have some USB connectivity underneath, the wireless charging pad. And here is how we go through our driving modes. Let's go through those just because you might want to know what they are. So here's what we're going to start with. Normal. And we go to off-road. And you're going to have your tow haul mode, terrain mode, and then we go back to normal. Power parking brake right here, cup holders, And the center console, well, it's not enormous, but you know what? It'll get the job done. It doubles as an armrest. And this is not all the space that you have. That tray right there is removable. So for those who are wondering about that, there you go. So there is additional space within. As far as driving the Canyon goes, it definitely gets the job done on road and off, especially for those of you that live in the climates where you deal with a lot of snow and ice. This truck is four-wheel drive. That's going to benefit you. You've got all of your different driving modes that you can select depending on your needs or wants, what your situation is, and it's easy to see out of. I like that. In fact, while we're at this, make our turn right here, I'm going to show you what I was talking about earlier. I mentioned that you can turn the cameras on. Now, this is not the best turning radius ever, but we still made it around without bumping the curb, so we did do that. But this truck does get up and go when you need it to get up and go. I know a lot of people think four-cylinder, that's not going to be a very good motor. Well, it gets down the road, that's for sure. Should there be a six-cylinder option? I do think there should be, but unfortunately that is not the case. Tell GMC down in the comments section if you would like to see that change. Maybe even a V8, I don't know. Everybody has their preferences. Tell me what you think. Overall, the ride quality is not terrible. It rides like a truck, I'll say, but at the same time, it's not horrible. It may depend a lot on where you're driving. Obviously, some road surfaces are worse than others. The driver's seat itself is comfortable. It is adjustable. The steering wheel is tilt and telescopically adjustable. That's something I didn't mention earlier in the video. Now, it is manually adjustable. There's a release that you drop, and then you can move the steering wheel as you need to. But a lot of adjustability built in here for the driver's seat to make sure you're nice and comfortable while driving. But overall, a very enjoyable truck to drive, I would say. Easy to learn and use technology. That's one of the nice things about GMC vehicles, is that the technology is not difficult to work with. Sometimes you do have to go into a couple of different menus to get into what you're looking for, a menu and then a sub-menu. But like I say, not a big deal. It's not an overload. At least that's my personal opinion. Everybody has their opinions on that. I guess it depends partially on what you're used to, but in my case, I don't think it's too bad. And the head-up display is nice and bright, adjustable, as I showed you earlier in the video. And overall, easy to see out of. Like I said, you can leave your cameras on right there, and you can use whichever view you want. It just depends. Now, I always wonder about why so many people ask me about that. How do you make that stay on? Now, here it's just as simple as turning them on when the truck is in drive, but I've never had anybody give me an answer as to why they want to leave those on while they're driving. I can understand when you're out on the trail, that could be helpful when you're off-roading. Situations like that will definitely warrant such a thing. But as far as on-road driving, that's still something I'm interested in receiving an answer to, depending on who you are. Some people have asked about that in the past, but nobody's ever said, this is why I want that. But overall, I would say if you're looking for a very solid, very capable mid-size truck, this is one you should consider. And there it is, the 2026 GMC Canyon Denali. Is it the perfect mid-size truck for you? Tell me what you think down in the comments section. I'm curious to know what you are looking for when it comes to buying your next mid-size truck. I would like to say a special thanks to my friends at Mike Morgan Buick GMC for loaning me this truck for the day so I could tell you all about it. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. Please be sure to subscribe and share this video on your timelines on social media. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.